Here are the ticket prices for the Philippine Women's Open 2026. Excitement is building for the Philippine Women's Open 2026. The organizers of the upcoming tennis tournament have now released the official ticket prices for the first edition to be held on January 26 to 31st at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center in Manila. The qualifying matches will be held on January 24th to 25th, priced at P200 per day, while the main draw will take place on January 26 to 29th for P1000 per day. For the semifinals on January 30th, the standard pass is at P1 500 for row K upwards, while the premium one is at P2000 for rows A to J. The same price and seating arrangement also applies to the final match on January 31st. You can get your tickets via the SM Tickets website or any SM Tickets box office starting January 14th at 12 a.m. Limited on-site tickets will also be available at the Rizal Memorial Sports Complex from January 24th to 31st only. According to the Women's Tennis Association website, the players who have been listed in the tournament are the following. Qualifying matches. Times Carolyn Ansari, USA. Times Carson Brandstein, Canada. Times Lizette Cabrera, Australia. Times Luisina Giovannini, Argentina. Times Mai Hontama, Japan. Times Sakura Hesogi, Japan. Times Yishin Ma, China. Times Tatiana Prozorova. Times Rina Saigo, Japan. Times Saa Saito, Japan. Times Menenchaya Sawankayu, Thailand. Times Aina Shibahara, Japan. Times Maria Takacheva. Times Xiaodayu, China. Alina Avanzian, Armenia Kimberly Birol, Australia Lena Cheriva Sofia Kostulas, Belgium Veronica Ajevic, Slovenia Joanna Garland, Chinese Taipaneo Hibano, Japan Leolia Jinjin, France Paulina Kudametova Tatiana Maria, Germany Camilo Osorio, Colombia Yulia Putintseva, Kazakhstan Hymno Sakitsum, Japan Daja Seministaja, Latvia Solana Sierra, Argentina Yulia Staroduptseva, Ukraine Lulu Sun, New Zealand Lanlana Tararudi, Thailand Mayuka Ochijima, Japan Donna Vikic, Croatia Simona Waltit, Switzerland Sinyu Wang, China Yu Yuan, China Lin Zhu, China. There are no players listed for the doubles as of writing. Meanwhile, the Philippines' Alexila has been awarded a wild card slot in both the singles and doubles events of the Philippine Women's Open. However, her participation will depend on her availability, as it hinges on her exit from the 2026 Australian Open that is scheduled from January 18th to February 1st. A total of 32 players are set to compete in the singles draw, and 16 teams will compete in the doubles draw. The event will feature a total prize pool of $115,000, P6.8 million. The Philippine Women's Open is part of the WTA 125, a series of tournaments that offers both established WTA players and talented newcomers the ability to build their careers and progress up to the highest levels of the WTA Tour. It includes Cali Open, Guadalajara 125, Jingshan Tennis Open, and the Suzhou WTA 125. Ila had bagged her first WTA 125 title in Guadalajara last September. The early morning sun touched the freshly painted walls of the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center as vendors set up stalls and fans shuffled into lines, coffee in hand, hearts full of hope. Manila was waking up to something different, something historic. It was not just another sports event. It was the Philippine Women's Open, the first WTA-level tennis tournament ever to be played on Philippine soil. For many, the ticket in their pocket was not just a slip of paper or a barcode on a screen. It was a passport to possibility. Chapter 1. The price of entry. More than money. 200 pesos. That's it, whispered Maria, a young student, staring at her qualifying match ticket. It seemed almost too good to be true. 200 Cuban pesos per day for the qualifying rounds, allowing fans to watch a full day of international players vying for a place in the main draw. This modest price wasn't random. It was intentional. The organizers, the Philippine Tennis Association, (PHILTA), and the Philippine Sports Commission, (PSC), wanted the event to be a bridge, not a barrier. They wanted students, moms, jeepney drivers, hawkers, and dreamers to see greatness in action without worrying about an expensive ticket. We want people to come over, PHILTA Executive Director Tonet Mendoza said, explaining that affordable pricing was part of making the sport accessible. And affordable it was. 200 Cuban pesos for qualifying matches, January 24th to 25th, accessible to many, with general admission and free seating. 1,000 Cuban pesos for the main draw matches, January 26 to 29th. 4 days of world-class tennis. 1,500 Cuban pesos for the semifinals, singles and doubles. Reserved seats bringing fans closer to the action. 2,000 Cuban pesos for the premium passes at the semifinals and finals, January 30th to 31st. Best seats in the house. In a world where major international sporting events often carry ticket prices that can cost as much as a month's groceries, these numbers spoke volumes about priority and purpose. Chapter 2. The fans who showed up. Jacob, a schoolteacher who had always loved tennis from afar, saved up weeks in advance. 1,000 Cuban pesos for 4 days might have been a stretch, but to him, this was more than tennis. It was history unfolding. He spoke of how seeing elite players compete on hard courts in Manila reminded him of watching tennis matches late at night on old TV sets, dreaming of a time when tennis would be serious business. Then there was little Aya, clutching her 200 Cuban pesos ticket with sticky fingers. She wore a cap nearly too big for her head and had memoized the names of the top seeds like they were superheroes. Her mom smiled. This was her first time watching live sports, and the affordable prices meant a family outing that felt special without breaking the bank. Older fans, too, shared stories of iconic Filipino athletes and how moments like this, seeing top women's tennis outside of far-flung courts in Europe or the US, felt like a renewal of pride in what Filipino sport can be. Chapter 3. Beyond the numbers, why price matters. Ticket prices are often just digits on a screen, but here they became a symbol of inclusion. The qualifiers, at just 200 Cuban pesos, invited the curious and the cautious, people who might have hesitated if the price was steeper. Their laughter bounced off the refurbished seats. They cheered volleys and aces, learning what a let was, and witnessing the strain and grace of professional athletes striving for victory. With 1,000 Cuban pesos for main draw days, even casual supporters felt welcomed. This wasn't elitist. It was for the people. It was a chance for a student to show up after class, an OFW at home on leave to bring their children, a retiree to relive the excitement of youth. Then came the semifinals and finals with tickets up to 2,000 Cuban pesos, reserved and premium pricing that balanced accessibility with the elevated experience of prime seating. Fans who'd saved, exchanged letters with family abroad, or budgeted for weeks finally got the closer seats they dreamed of. And while some may have thought a premium ticket expensive, for many it was a celebration of ambition, a way to sit closer to the exertion, emotion, and excellence of women who had trained for years to be here. Chapter 4. A festival of tennis and culture. Tickets didn't just grant entry to matches, they unlocked experiences. Organizers set up fan zones around the courts, places where aspiring players could try out mini-courts, where vendors sold